seems to be a fly.
Yes, there is. It's a bit of a pain.
But buzzing around you.
Yes.
I don't want you to be distracted.
No, I'm trying to ignore it.
Yeah. If it becomes too much, we'll break and get rid of it.
Okay.
Have you read the Horizon Issues Judgment?
I skimmed through it at the time, and I've looked at various sections of it. I don't claim to have read it every word, I'm afraid.
In high-level summary, would you agree that Mr. Justice Fraser concluded, firstly, that legacy Horizon was not remotely robust?
I accept that that's what he said.
Yes. Do you accept that Horizon Online was susceptible to accounting flaws? That's what he...
Again, that is what he said. I think he's maybe putting it too strongly. I felt that Horizon Online was and is, because after all this is still the system that's operating today, doing a good job in terms of the accounting, particularly with the monitoring that was going on in terms of being able to detect things when they had occurred.
He concluded that sub-postmasters were not informed of and were therefore oblivious to a range of bugs, errors and defects. Do you agree that that's a summary of what he found?
That is certainly what he said, yes.
And lastly, that those bugs, errors and defects could result in, i.e. cause, discrepancies or shortfalls in the branch accounts of sub-postmasters, thereby corrupting transactions, disrupting data processing and recording transactions.
That was a possibility, but I'm not sure that even today I understand what bugs actually did cause the problems that people have suffered from.
Do I take it that you accept his first finding that Legacy Horizon was not remotely robust?
I don't accept that finding.
You don't accept his finding that Horizon Online was susceptible to accounting flaws?
There were some discrete bugs that caused problems to the accounts, but they were very discrete, and I believe that they were all well controlled and managed at the time.
And you don't accept his findings that bugs, errors and defects could result in, i.e. cause, discrepancies or shortfalls in branch accounts?
They could cause discrepancies in branch accounts, but not at the sort of levels that are being talked about. And in general, the systems, I believe, were operating as they should.
Robustly?
It depends exactly what you mean by robust, but as long as you're not saying infallibly, then yes, because I think robust meant that there were mechanisms in place that would monitor what was going on, detect problems, and that they were then investigated and resolved correctly.
Horizon, both legacy and online, was working well in your view?
Most of the time. There were clearly problems during the pilots in both cases, and there were clearly individual problems that affected individual branches, and I'm sure we'll come on to those at some time. But in general, then I felt that the systems were working well.
The judge got it wrong?
I wouldn't like to say that, but I think there's a difference in emphasis between there were clearly problems, and he identified a number of problems, and I won't dispute those problems happened. But on the whole, I felt that the systems were working well.
In relation to your fourth line support role, you tell us in your witness statements, the first witness statement of paragraph 25, quote, "I would only have been aware of bugs, errors and defects specifically allocated to me by third line support, or where I was asked to route the issue to the correct person in fourth line support, or where I was asked for specific input on the problem because of my particular expertise," correct?
Yes, yes.
Within your roles in Legacy Horizon, did you have any oversight of all bugs, errors and defects within the system at any given time?
No.
So you couldn't at any particular time speak to the existence or non-existence of bugs, errors and defects in the system?
Not from my personal knowledge, no.